Hey, beautiful magic folk. You're listening to Tutia Bruja. I'm Bex Carlos, your host. So, for today's episode, we have another solo episode. So, I'm going to focus on another series that I would watch around the Halloween season. So, for this episode, Bravo in late 2004 did a series called The 100 Scariest Movie Moments. This series was great, especially if you were a horror buff, which I am. It counted down the most shocking, terrifying, goriest moments in horror history. It was a 5-part miniseries. It covered about 80 years of cinema, with the earliest film being the 1922 German expressionist film Nosferatu. And then the most recent one in the whole list being 28 Days Later. So it covers a good amount of time. One thing I really liked about it, you see all these influential people who were big parts of the horror community, doing commentary. You had George A. Romero, R.I.P. You had Wes Craven, also R.I.P. John Carpenter, Robert Englund, who played Freddy Krueger. You had all of these people who made sense. And then it was interesting because they also rounded it out with comedians and people you wouldn't really expect. Gilbert Godfrey was on there. And okay, I feel like he's a commentator on a lot of things, so that wasn't really weird. But for all my Gilmore Girl fans out there, shout out. Keiko Agina, who played Lane, was on there. And I'm like, Lane, what are you doing here? But no, I like her, so I'm glad that she made an appearance. It covers films that were mostly made in the 1960s and 1970s, which isn't surprising because I feel like that was kind of the golden age of horror movies. And also, maybe that's just me personally. I know that, I have a lot of respect for Eli Roth. He's made some cool movies. He's part of the Splat Pack, which, is a bunch of directors who make really gory films. Also, until I saw this series, I was not aware of how much of a babe he was. It's not really relevant, but I just wanted it to be known. Taking a quick pause from the episode. So personally, I like to get a little experimental with my magic. I love talking to people about all the symbolism, all the different metaphors, all the different things that I do. And that's why I really love Melissa at Temperance Home and Bar. Not only is she super detail oriented, her brain is very similar to mine, that she can just make things totally off the cuff. And you're looking at a compact and there's 12 different things that you're missing about the symbolism of this mirror. It's so cool. Check her out. She's in the show notes. It's Melissa at Temperance Home and Bar. Let's get back into the episode. I'm not going to list the order of the films, even though it's been 16 years since it's come out. But I will say that I think that there's some films in there personally that I was kind of surprised that were there. One of them being The Wizard of Oz, which I guess as a kid there are some parts that are scary. And then another one being Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. And again, that scene where the little boat is going through that tunnel, that wasn't ideal. So I get it. It was really successful that they ended up having 2 sequels to it. The first one being called 30 Even Scarier Movie Moments, which came out in 2006. And then in late October of 2009, 13 Scarier Movie Moments. So, I don't know. What can I say? There is a need for people to count down movies that they find really scary. Okay, well, first of all, I don't even know why Bravo hasn't aired this in years, because I've been looking for it, Bravo. Hint, hint. I've been looking for it, and they haven't mentioned it, which is a shame, I think, because it's real good. But also, I think right now is kind of the best time to showcase this list, because I think a lot of us are going to be spending a lot of time indoors this Halloween as opposed to Halloweens in past years. So what I'm going to do is in the show notes, because the glorious YouTube has a bunch of the episodes. I believe it has all 5 of them, but I could be wrong. It at least has the first one, so you can start and have some inspiration of movies to watch. But I highly suggest you check it out. The first episode's going to be in the show notes. And honestly, who doesn't like getting reacquainted with horror movies? This Bravo series, The 100 Scariest Movie Moments, really helps, expand your knowledge of horror movies, because it wasn't just American horror movies. It shows, movies from all over the world that have made an impact on people. So thanks for listening. I'm going to include the link for that in the show notes. And if you want to suggest some other things that I could talk about that you really thought was cool as a kid that freaked you out, that you might think other witchy people might like, please get in contact. Check out my website. It's bexbecasted.com. There's a Tutia Bruja tab and you can reach out through there. You can also just send me like a DM on the Tutia Bruja Instagram. I'm also on Twitter, and you can follow me personally at bexbecasted.com. All right. I will see you again soon. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Mm-hmm.